Today's motivational message is going to be about how to never walk into public restrooms by a pool without shoes on. Okay, because I just did that and that shit was nasty. On the real though, today's video is going to be about discipline, and specifically how discipline is in direct proportion to your happiness. Because that was the most important part of this entire video, okay? Discipline is in direct proportion to your happiness. If you're about to turn this video off early, that's the one thing I want you to write down, because that is a quote that I heard today that actually inspired this video and is actually the reason why I am leaving the pool right now, or actually the reason why I came to the pool today in the first place. It motivated me for several different reasons, so I'm going to talk about it. Oh, that didn't work. Right. All right, guys, here we are back in the car. Another car video. I swear the car is just one of the easiest places to record in, so I hope you don't mind. This is my Kia Optima. Welcome. So I've been working out for 8 years now. I started when I was 18 years old. I started going to Planet Fitness 3 times a week on my own. And at that time, that amount of fitness was enough for me. That was enough for me to get started with, to get the ball rolling, and to actually make some improvements, because prior to that, I had been doing absolutely nothing. Once that got a little bit too easy, I started going about every other day. Then I went to college and, I was putting in about an hour a day most days out of the week, probably taking 1 or 2 rest days. And man, I remember it was hard for me to just get that hour in sometimes. Like, I felt like I didn't know what to do with myself just to get the full hour. Like, for me back then, it was like, what can I do to make sure that I'm at the gym for exactly 1 hour? Because that means I've worked out. Little did I know it was actually about what you put into that hour rather than just being at the gym for an hour. Now, fast forward 8 years later, I work out about 2 hours a day, or I work out 2 times a day, most days out of the week. And usually my rest days are active rest days. Either I bike, or I do yoga, or, I do some sort of physical activity, but there are rarely days out of the week where I do absolutely nothing. And that is because now, in order for me to improve and for me to push myself to get better, I have to push myself a lot harder than what I did back when I was first starting out when I was 18. And if I had started out when I was 18 trying to do what I do now, A, I would have hurt myself, and B, there's no way I would have had the motivation and the discipline to be able to just start with such a huge goal. And you would think after 8 years of training that there's no more little voice inside of my head trying to excuse me from working out that day, or trying to give me a reason why I don't need to work out, why I don't need to push as hard, or why I don't need to do that specific workout, or why I only need to work out 1 hour. No, guys. That voice still exists. I have it all the time. As a matter of fact, it happens most days out of the week. It happened today. I took CrossFit class this morning. It was an hour long, and it was a tough workout. And after that workout, I felt very tired, and I really didn't want to do anything. Honestly, for the rest of the day, I was like, dude, that was all I needed. I really don't need anything else. But I know Jake is going to text me and ask me to go swimming later, because we talked about this yesterday, and he's going to freaking kick my ass. But you know what? I don't think I need to do it. I think that workout was just fine. So you know what? Let me try to think about what I can say to him to get out of this swimming. And those voices were going on in my head. And then I listened to this podcast today by Andy Frisella, where he said, your discipline is in direct proportion to your happiness. And I thought to myself, you know what? That is so freaking true. Because every time I make myself proud and I keep a promise to myself and I do what I say I was going to do, even if it sucks, or even if it's hard, even if it's something that I'm struggling with, that I'm weak at. What I'm talking right now about is like swimming, I am not good at, okay? So that's why it was a struggle for me to get here today, and why it's been a struggle for me every time that I go and try to practice my swimming, because it's something that I'm really not that skilled at. And so just knowing that you're about to go embark on something that you're going to feel weak at and that you're going to suck at, that's the hard stuff to discipline yourself to do. But every time I do it, I do notice myself getting a little bit better and a little bit better. And here's the thing, guys, depending on how often you can keep a promise to yourself, I believe will determine how successful you are and how happy you are. And yesterday I had promised myself I'm going to go swimming tomorrow. because you know what? I know that I need to work on it. I know that it's going to be good for me, and there's really no reason why I shouldn't go. Yes, I was tired from the workout this morning, but I do this all the time. Like, I could have easily stayed home. I could have easily found reasons why not to go, but I would have broken the promise I made with myself yesterday. And then next time something hard comes up that I know that I need to work on, guess what? It's going to be easier for me to break that promise with myself again. And what I think leads people into a downward spiral, and what ruins people's chances of exercising their discipline for the day, is because they break the first promise that they've made with themselves for the day. And what I'm talking about is early in the morning, you've set your alarm and you're like, you know what, tomorrow I'm gonna get up 30 minutes early, right? You pre-decide, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna do whatever this activity is that I've been trying to kind of incorporate into my day, like working out or meditating or actually having the time to cook a healthy breakfast. And then I'm gonna get my day started off right. And then guess what? That alarm goes off, 6 a.m., and you hit the snooze button. And then guess what? You've hit it 7 times. And all of a sudden, it's 6:40 a.m. and you're like, oh crap, well now I don't have time to cook my healthy breakfast. Oh, now I don't have time to go exercise. Oh, now I don't have time to do my meditation. Oh, well, I guess I'll just try tomorrow. That's not how it works. You gotta keep your first promise. The first promise that you make with yourself in the day, I feel like, is the most important one. You're setting your day up for success, or you're setting your day up for failure. My friend Jake, who I was swimming with today, said something really interesting actually about how to make discipline easier for yourself that I wanted to include in this video.
It's like you're able to find discipline easier in things that you actually enjoy doing. Like, say, if you wanted to try to have discipline in stuff like schoolwork or working out and stuff like that, then find a way in which that makes it fun to do, and it makes the discipline part of it so much easier.
Love it. So what I want to ask you guys is, in what ways are you going to exercise discipline this week? List 1 or 2 things and realize that these are promises that you're making to yourself. These aren't just rules. These aren't just things that you should feel obligated to do. They should be moving you forward and creating a better life for you. That's what discipline is. It's not just something that's supposed to be painful. Sure, it's painful in the short term, but in the long term, it should be creating something fulfilling for you, something that's going to improve you as a person and improve the quality of your life. That's why we practice discipline. And even if it's around something that you enjoy, it's not always going to be super easy, okay? Difficulty will equal happiness, weirdly enough, but you've got to be willing to put in the work. Think about the end goal. Think about how this is going to result in a better life for you, and maybe that'll motivate you a little bit more. So hope this video gave you some value. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next Monday. Have a fantastic week. Peace.